Got it.
Hello and welcome to the NZ Ahead podcast, where each week we bring you stories and news of people who are moving to or living in New Zealand. And this week we've got a cracker of a show for you. I'm going to be talking to Tanya. Tanya is from the UK. She is part of our NZ Ahead private community. She joined about 18 months ago, and she has been such a fabulous member to watch come through the UK and into New Zealand on this big epic adventure. You're going to find out all about why that was, what happened with her story in just a minute. But what I love about Tanya is that she's got 5 kids, one that she didn't bring to New Zealand because he's over 18, but she brought these 4 kids to New Zealand, and you'll just hear about her efforts that she goes to make those kids settle, because 2 of them are teenagers. So just the things that she talks about, it really makes you realize that if you are willing to give something a go, you can make anything work. That's what I get from Tanya, and I hope you get the same thing too. We've got a lot of people in our community that have got older kids that worry, it's easier when they're 4 or 5 or 6, 7, whatever. It's easier to get them to lots of play groups and after school clubs and things like that. But when they get older, it's a little bit more tricky. But Tanya, as you're going to hear, knows all about that, and she knew just what to do to tackle that hurdle. She's so inspiring. She's so lovely. Like I say, part of our private community. If you haven't signed up for our free 5-day video guide, after that video guide, you can join in our community if you're moving to New Zealand and talk with people like Tanya and everyone else that's in that community of like-minded people, adventurers who are determined to make their dream of moving to New Zealand come true. Then you can sign up for our free 5-day video guide by going to www.nzahead.com/free. Take those 5-day video guides, and by day 5, you'll be given details of how you can become an NZ Ahead community member and join us in this fabulous journey. But for now, sit back and enjoy this lovely interview with Tanya.
Got it.
Welcome to the NZ Ahead podcast. Everything you need to know about moving to and living in New Zealand.
There's a whole world here.
So nice to be with you again.
We call it Aotearoa around here, bro.
You'll be right.
We are your hosts, Liz and Brian.
Amazing New Zealand in the southern seas.
See, that's where I belong. That's home.
Tanya, welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Even though you're not feeling well, you've still said that you'll come and chat with me on the podcast. So I am super happy and grateful to have you here with me to share your story.
That's okay. I'm happy to be here.
I always love talking to, it's because I'm a Brit. I love talking to anyone from Britain. It's just, I don't know, for a start, it's the accent. I always feel like, I get all settled in and I'm like, I'm going to listen to this story now. To be honest, we have the majority of people that come over are a lot of from the US. So when we get people from the UK or Europe, South Africa, Canada, whatever, it's always really nice to talk to them. And you in particular have been with our community for a couple of years now. And I've been dying to talk to you for a number of reasons. 1, because I like you and I want to know your story. But 2, because you came to New Zealand with a handful of kids, and there's so many more stories that go into that we're going to dive into later on in the podcast. But first of all, can you just tell me who you are and a little bit about your family and where you came from in the UK? Let's start off with that.
Yeah, so I'm Tanya. I came from Devon in the UK, but before that we lived on the Isle of Wight. Brought 4 kids over. 2 teenagers, 2 little ones. I've also got one back in the UK because he didn't want to come over because he's an adult and I see him as a 4-year-old child still. But yeah, that's right. I'm a teacher, but I teach tertiary education here and my husband's a staff nurse.
Right. Okay. So your son is back in the UK, you said?
Yes. Yeah. Because he was 18.
Right. Okay. He was 18. First of all, tell me why you wanted to move to New Zealand.
I think we just had enough of the whole COVID and Brexit. Me and my husband weren't really seeing each other. It was ships in the nights for childcare. And we just thought we've had enough of the politics. So what should we do next? And on a whim one night, we just went, let's move to New Zealand. And it was kind of meant as a bit of a light-hearted joke, but then it got more serious. And we just thought, too late now, isn't it? We might as well just do it.
So, had you ever been to New Zealand before?
No, we just thought, oh, we'll pack our bags. We can always move back if needs be.
Do you know what? I love that. I love that attitude because that is such a good attitude to have, isn't it? Like if it doesn't work out, we'll just come home.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it was, because we did contemplate coming for a holiday, but with 4 kids in tow, that was a very expensive holiday. So, and that could have been good money we could have put towards the move. So we just thought, give it a go. We haven't really got much to lose apart from selling a house and everything.
Oh yeah, apart from just moving to the other side of the world. I mean, yeah, let's just, what have we got to lose?
Something to do on a rainy day.
And this is what I love about you. You've always struck me as just being a person that just gives anything a go. And it's like, I don't know, you never seem flustered by anything. I admire your calmness whenever, you talk about stuff. You just never seem flustered. But 4 kids, I mean, I can't imagine, because we brought 2 over and that was hard enough. So how old were your kids when you decided to suddenly give New Zealand a go? So
it took us about 18 months to get everything sorted. So when we first started the process, they were 11, 12. So going back about 2 years. So I would say 8, 9, 16, 14 and 18 at the time.
And was your 18-year-old adamant that he was never going to come straight from the start? He just didn't want to come?
Didn't want to come. We gave him the option, and he's got his partner in the UK, got a job. So the more we was pushing him, he was being very reluctant. So we just thought, we'll leave it, and hopefully he might come over in the future, but I doubt it. He's nearly 20 now, so he's quite content. Yeah,
they've got their own lives, and just like you say, once they get a partner, that's it. They're sort of like going a different direction, don't they?
Yeah.
And what about
Although the parenting never stops.
Oh God, no. No, like you say, they're always a 4-year-old, aren't they?
Yeah, still, can you lend me 20 quid?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So what about your 16-year-old? Because that's a quite a delicate age, isn't it? It's neither, you're not an adult yet and you're not a kid, and you're just, what did that look like? How did you navigate that?
So we gave them all the option. So we sort of sat the oldest 2 down beforehand and said, look, this could be a possibility. Are you interested? Because we always said if they didn't want to come, we wouldn't go ahead with it, because it was different leaving an adult, but we wouldn't have been able to leave 2 younger teens. So yeah, the only bit that we really had difficulty navigating is she had finished school in the UK in July and we came over in the September. So she's gone back to school now. So that was a bit complicated for her. But no, she's really enjoying it. Settled in. Friends were hard, but that's where the ad comes in.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to talk about that in just a while, because you did something flipping amazing, I think, when you moved over to New Zealand to find some friends with your kids. And I just want to talk about that. First of all, so you were a teacher in the UK, in Devon.
I'd only just qualified. So I was at uni and then qualified in the May. And then we moved over here in the September.
Okay. And is that how you got over here on your teachers, because of teacher shortage?
No, we came over on Ed's nursing visa.
Right. Okay. You came over on Ed's nursing visa. And was he all up for it as well? Were you both just like, yep, we're both just super keen on this adventure, or was it just one of you, or you were both involved in it?
Yeah, both involved. So really lucky, actually. Originally, we looked into Canada, but they didn't recognise my degree. They wanted me to do another 4 years. So we was like, we'll just go to New Zealand. So yeah, all up for it. And we hate UK politics.
Yeah. We won't go into that, but yeah, it was.
No.
We might be here for a while. Plus, I don't know anything about politics, so it'd be a bit of a boring conversation for you. But so, okay, so I'm just trying to get my head around the fact that here you are in North Devon and you decide to come to New Zealand and you say to your 4 kids, okay, we're going to move over. So what happened then? How did you go about getting a job, and where did you live, and how did all that look?
The first thing was Ed got registered with the New Zealand Council. I hadn't qualified at this point, so I couldn't register. We waited about a year for Ed's New Zealand Nursing Council to come through, because it's a horrendous amount of paperwork. Then after that, we applied for the visa. We asked the kids at sort of every stage whether they still wanted to come before we put more money into it. And then I messaged Charlotte and said, look, we've sold our house. How long is the visa process going to be? Timeline was about 4 to 6 weeks. So we was really stressed by this point. We were living with friends. So we said, let's just book a holiday to Spain. This was on the Wednesday we booked, went to Spain on the Friday, and our visa came through for New Zealand at 3 when we got for the airport. So our relaxing holiday to Europe was flights and everything else, COVID passports.
Yeah.
And everything like that.
Yeah. God, it's always the way, isn't it? You wait and wait and wait and nothing happens. So you think, okay, I'm just going to go on a holiday and decompress and, just relax. And then, like you say, it's almost like, I don't know, you draw it to you, doesn't it? It's just like, ta-da, here it is. It's like, something for you to worry about. So you just went on a holiday and spent all that time just making your plans to come to New Zealand.
Yeah. So it wasn't relaxing at all, but we enjoyed it.
No.
So we did 5 flights in 32 hours, just about.
And I know I keep talking about this, but this is because something I'm so fascinated with, because when you bring kids to the other side of the world and you take them out of their life and, their friends and their school and whatever, I think when they're younger, it's so much easier because you can like bribe them and just say, oh yeah, New Zealand's got really good ice cream. New Zealand's got great swimming pools that you're going to go and play in and stuff like that. And it interests me that you say along the way, we kept asking the older ones, are you up for it? Are you up for it? What would you have done if, like, say, if you've you've applied for the visa and you've got all the visa and you're selling your house and stuff like that? What would you have done, honestly, if if right at the last minute, one of them had turned around and said, I don't want to go?
In hindsight, I think we probably would have persuaded them to come, try it for a bit of time and then go from there. I think by that time we'd put too much money into it for not to try it, but luckily they didn't. So I think it just would have been a case of get an idea for it, and then we could always go back
and give it a
They've
go.
always had a really positive attitude like me, so they knew we would have gone back if we had to.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. All right then. So now you've got all your visas and NZ Shores, weren't you? You used NZ Shores for that. So you got your visas and Ed got a job.
Yep. So Ed got a job before we put the visas in. We was working with another company. We originally wanted Dunedin, but there wasn't anything there for Ed's pathway. So we focused on Timaru, really, because we knew we wanted the South Island.
Right.
And we were just trying to get more slackers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Just more outgoing. We wanted the mountains. We don't mind the colder weather, although we are warmer than Dunedin. So...
For anyone who's listening to this and they're thinking, what does she mean, the slackers? So in our community group, we've got lots of different channels, and we've got a channel for Dunedin and all the South, the South Christchurch and the South Island and Timaru, and then you've got the Auckland and New Plymouth and all the Hamilton, and there's this like little friendly rivalry going on, so that when people join the group, there's like the South Island versus North Island, like come and live here, it's much better. So that's what we're talking about. So so Ed gets a job in Timaru. What I've never been to Timaru, so describe Timaru to me.
Compared to somewhere in the UK, it's probably where we came from, like North Devon. It's classed as a city, but it's not really a city. It's smaller than sort of Dunedin and Christchurch. It's big enough to have all the shops,
right,
apart from a Kmart, which we're working on. It's got a lovely beach area full of miles of beaches where you get your sea lions and your seals. And we have a carnival every year. Fun fair from Boxing Day through till January. Just really enjoyable. And we have Brews on the Bay every year as well, which is where like 40 different beer stalls and gin stalls come together with live music.
Oh, now you're talking. How did I not know that?
It only started up last year.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, we went 4 days after we arrived, still jet lagged, got terribly drunk.
If you dream of moving to New Zealand, then you are going to love what I'm about to share with you. 12 years ago, when me and Bri emigrated to New Zealand, we were scouring the internet, trying to find any information that we could about what our life would be like when we got here. And basically all we had was YouTube. So we made this vow. We said, when we get to New Zealand, we're going to create something that we can share with others that answers those questions that you're so desperate to know about. Like, what is your life going to be like when you get here? And that's what I'm here to offer you today. We have created a 5-day free, absolutely free video guide that shows you what it's really like to live in New Zealand. This stuff is unique and it is fabulous. You are not going to find it anywhere else on the internet. And like I say, it's absolutely free. You'll be sent a video every day for 5 days and you will know what it's like in New Zealand. So head over to the website. It's www.nzahead.com/free. One more time, that's www.nzahead.com/free. You are going to love it. How did I not know that?
It only started up last year.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, we went 4 days after we arrived, still jet lagged, got terribly drunk, fell flat on my face in the middle of the park.
You went 4 days after you arrived. You went down to the beer festival. That's brilliant. That's just getting in it like a local, isn't it?
Yeah. Give the kids $20 each to babysit. Problem solved.
Do you know what, Tanya? I have noticed about you. I think deep down you were always a Kiwi. I think some people just they come to New Zealand and they just they take to it like a duck to water. And you're a classic example of that. And before I jump in and talk about the classic Kiwi thing that you did for your kids, I just wanted to stay on Timaru a little bit. So when you arrived in New Zealand, because coming from the UK, you know, you've North Devon, was it in North Devon you said you were in?
Yeah, Bideford.
I know that area. It's pretty and it's small and it feels like quite towny, doesn't it? You know, and it's. But when you came to New Zealand, was it anything like you expected, or was it bigger, better? You know, what, smaller, different? What? Tell me your initial thoughts, having never been to New Zealand before in your life. Here you are with 4 kids and Ed, and you get off the plane, and apart from the fact that you know you're going to the beer festival to get sloshed in 4 days, but pretend that you didn't know that. What are your thoughts of New Zealand when you get off the plane?
So the first thing we did was went to Pack and Save, because we stopped in like a little, we stopped in what now is, we know, as a top 10 holiday park to get over some jet lag for a couple of days. Went into Pack and Save, mullets and barefoot. Didn't even know what that was all about. Looking at all these prices, we was like, it's $22 expensive for grapes? Knowing what we know now, yes.
Yes.
But yeah, we spent like $300 in Pack and Save, wondering, we didn't know how we were going to survive because we'd kind of worked with our wages. And Ed was a bit like Brian, or going, oh, well, this is only this amount in English money. And I was like, just quit it. We're not bloody in the UK now. It was a bit, some expectations I got, like we felt relaxed and you could see people are quite chill and mellow. But then other things like the barefoot and the mullets and just random kids walking around, like little kids.
Yeah.
That was a bit abnormal. And when we went to view the kids' school, I'm very much used to schools being enclosed within fences. And when I said, oh, can we come and view your school? They was like, yeah, just rock up whatever time. And I was like, oh, okay.
Shall I bring the beer?
Yeah. But no, it was, I expected some things, but some of the things was a bit of a culture shock.
Right. Okay. So it sounds to me like it's pretty laid back down there, down in the south. You're all having a good time down there. It sounds pretty laid back.
Yeah, I like it. It's I'm quite glad in hindsight that we didn't go to Dunedin, because we quite like nipping up to Christchurch. That's only 2 hours away. Dunedin's 2 hours away. Our ski field's 45 minutes away.
Brilliant. I'm going to come down. I didn't know about this. I mean, I've seen all your beautiful pictures that you put on the channel and everything, and they look stunning. I honestly didn't know anything about the place. So it's great talking to you about that. So you get you get there, and you know you go in Pack and Save. Did you have somewhere to live? Were you in an Airbnb, or did you have a rental sorted? What did that look like?
We'd got a rental already sorted. I joined a couple of Facebook pages for private rentals. Put again another photograph on there, put a description of us, and somebody said, hey, I've got a house that you might be interested in. Sent us a couple of pictures, and then when we arrived, we signed a contract and off you go.
Right.
So
that easy. What was the Facebook group called?
It was just called Timaru Private Rentals.
Right. Okay.
So you can get them locally anywhere, I assume.
Yes, yeah, because someone talked about this before when we did a live Zoom about renting properties, and they said a local Facebook, so like New Plymouth Rentals, or like you say, Wellington Rentals. Yeah, it's a great idea, that. And you did all that from the UK. You just sorted all that out from the UK. Yeah,
it was quite easy. And we didn't want to go through agencies, because obviously it meant coming to visit people, coming to visit the houses. And with 4 kids in tow, we needed to be kind of prepared before we got here.
Yes. And what size house is it? And how long are you allowed to stay there for?
So we're on a year's contract at the minute,
okay.
And then it's a 5-bed 2 bathrooms, 2 living areas, so massive house.
Wow.
And we pay $650.
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. It's detached. It's up on a hill, so we've got beautiful views of the golf course, and we can see the sea.
Wow, that's
so really nice area.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, well, I'm happy. And so, okay, so now you've come over to Timaru. You've got this lovely house. You're all sorted in your rental. Ed already had his job to go to, I'm assuming.
He started the week after.
Okay, he started the week after. And we could talk about Ed, but I want to talk about you. But so how did you find your job? Because I know you're working as a teacher now. How did that happen?
So about 3 weeks after we arrived, my work visa came through. And then during the registration, I just did a bit of relief teaching as an unqualified teacher, waiting for everything to come through. And then in the January, I started a permanent job. So I do ed, tertiary education. So I teach 15, 16-year-olds that have come from traumatic backgrounds and get them through their NCEAs level 1 for numeracy and literacy. So it's going really well. Never taught teenagers before, but they're pretty cool.
Wow, that's fantastic, Tanya. So is this taught in a school, or is it done Tikura, or how does that work?
It's with the YMCA.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I teach with the YMCA, and I've just taken a bit of a promotion. So I'm now their dyslexia lead.
Oh, well done. Congrats. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So do you actually teach at the YMCA, or is it all online? So it's okay. I didn't know this.
So
go on.
Yep. So I teach at the YMCA. They've got them all over. So some of them had their education facility, some of them don't.
Right. And so you turn up at the YMCA, and then teenagers come to the YMCA and sit in a classroom with you, and you get them through their maths and literacy. Is that right?
Yeah, they're NCEAs. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Tanya, thank you. That's so wonderful.
That's all right.
That's admirable. That's wonderful. You must get a lot of job satisfaction out of that. But I also imagine it would be quite a challenging job as well.
It is challenging. We have to see a counsellor once a month as part of our job role, because obviously they disclose a lot of information. But it's okay. When I first started, they said, 7-8 kids maximum, because obviously the environment, because they're only on their course for 20 weeks, because you're only doing the foundational skills. And I started off with 23 kids, so a bit more than 7.
Oh, wow. 23. I bet that was challenging.
Yeah, it was. But now I've got into the role and I've settled, and I know kind of what the expectations are, because I was very much expecting it to be like a mainstream school, but it's not. You can't teach them in the same way as what you would in a mainstream setting.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, lots of different ways. And I would imagine you become very close to them. Is that right? Do you get very close personally, just like involved? And it would be hard not to, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you do, but you've got to sort of find that balance between a work and life. I kind of shrug it off my shoulders come 4 o'clock, because I've also got my own kids. So I'm very good at going, done, dusted, time to go home and be mum.
Yes, yeah. Talking of your own kids, now this is what I could not believe when you put this on the Slack channel. I just could not believe that you did this. So tell us what you did when you came to New Zealand with your 4 kids to help find your kids some friends.
So again, on another local page, I put on there a post saying, hey, from the UK, brought 4 kids over. Anybody want to be friends with us, basically? And it was nearly my daughter's 17th birthday. And I was like, she wants to go out and meet people, because their student visas wasn't through. Our work visas wasn't through. So I needed to do something to keep me sane. And I think it ended up with like 300 comments back, including one from a journalist. And he was like, hey, I'm so interested in your story. Can you get back to me? And it all escalated from there. It was supposed to be, the interview was supposed to be the day before Bruise on the Bay, but there was a car accident. So the interview was the days after Bruise on the Bay with a hangover.
Right.
So,
oh my God. I just love that story. I love it. I can't believe that you did that. that's genius, but it's also really brave. I just think it's very out there. I would never think to do that. And I would just, something in me would be like, oh no, don't do that. But so how fantastic is that? So you got all these comments back. So were there comments like saying, oh yeah, we'll be your friend, like we'll be your kids' friends? Or what were the comments?
So we had a couple of teenagers to say, hey, I run this sort of club in Timaru. Would your kids be interested in coming along? More aimed at the teenagers. So Kira got into a group called Raise Up. That's run also through the YMCA, ironically, before I started. A couple of football groups, swimming groups. So you just go along. Hey, I'm Tanya. These are the kids. And you just make connections from there. And it's really nice because I'm still friends with some of them now. And we've been here nearly a year.
That is it reminds me of something that you would do in the olden days. Like, like, I don't know, like you used to turn up, didn't you? Like, well, like when growing up in the 70s and your mum would take you along to, like, I don't know, Sunday school or whatever, or she'd just take you along to the playgroup and go, this is Lizzie. Does anyone want to play with her? And like, you just thought that was like completely normal, like, but now we've become so insular, and so like although we're supposed to be like, now we've got social media, everyone's supposed to be like got all these amazing loads of friends, but I think this is a time when loneliness is quite prevalent, isn't it? It's just, so I think that what you did is just, I just think it's fantastic, and I'm so happy that journalist picked up on that, and he must have just, or she must have thought the same as me. It was like, wow, like, this woman has done this with, and that you kids let you do it, like agreed to it as well. Because I think if I said to my kids, I'm going to put a post on Facebook and ask for some friends, they'd be like, oh no, please don't do that. So I think it's great that your kids sound really, really open and up just for life. They just sound like real great kids, to be honest.
Yeah, they are. They're really open anyway, and they was really social in the UK. And the fact we'd pulled them 12,000 miles away from their friends, I felt a little bit of responsibility that, I'd caused this, so I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
And I managed to, I wasn't quite expecting it to be as big as what it was. I was just expecting a hey, but no, it was great.
Yeah.
Worked out all right.
Yeah, definitely. Because I tell you what, if I saw something like that on Facebook and some saying, it's like, because we homeschooled, so we always, I was always constantly aware that the kids needed friends, even though they had great friends in the homeschooling group. You're always worried that they're not going to be like kids who go to school and have loads of friends. So it is always on your mind. And I just think that is a great example of just stepping out of the box and thinking, do you know what? If you want to make friends, this is how you do it. It's just, this is what you have to do. And I just love it. I love your attitude. It's just fantastic. So tell me about your kids now. Are they all settled and happy and at school, or what are they doing?
So they're all settled. So Kira, who's 18 next month, she's currently doing her NCEA level 2. So she's in year 12, should be year 13, but she wants to go to uni. So she's put herself back a year. So she's got a part-time job. She works across the road at a bar and a restaurant. Tyler's 16. He's in year 11, again, should be in year 12, but he's put himself back a year to get his NCAs because the GCSEs don't transfer over.
Right.
He's got a part-time job at Macca's. He's quite content because I've always done a thing with my kids. If they stay in education, they don't pay board.
Right.
So that's like a little bribe for them. He wants to join the New Zealand Armed Forces when he's 17. Devon is in year 7. He's really settled in because in the UK, he found it quite hard to make friends. But here, I think because I find the curriculum's not so hard to keep up with, they're able to have that social side of it and that holistic side of it. And then Jasmine's 11. She's in year 6 and she's severely dyslexic. And in the UK, the gap was getting bigger and bigger, where here she's allowed to learn things through art. Her writing's come on loads because she's joined the local netball team. So they've all settled in beautifully. I don't think I could have asked for anything. To think that a year ago we was like, oh my God, we're living between sofas and we didn't have visas, we'd sold our house, to now we're like, oh, what was the panic about?
Yeah. Look how different. Because how long have you been here now? Is it just a year? It's longer than a year.
Yeah, No, we've September the 18th will be a year.
Right. Wow. That's see, that's what I mean. You just, when I see you and hear you and I see you on the chat and, you know, you just seem to have just got right in there. You don't seem to have had any, lots of people when they move to New Zealand, they have that settling in period where and sometimes it can take a year. It did for me. It took me nearly 2 years, to be honest, you know, to have that feeling of like, oh, I'm really starting to feel at home here. But you just, am I right in thinking that you and your family have just got right in and you've just settled in? Is that fair to say that?
Yeah, I think really we lost a lot of things in the UK. So while we was going through the process, I lost both of my parents within 6 weeks before we came. So I think that kind of helped in a way because we didn't have to worry about them. I think if they'd still been alive, I would have been constantly thinking, oh my God, I've got to go and help them. I can't really leave. So this was a brand new, fresh start from every angle.
Right.
So I think that probably kind of helped in a way positively.
Yes. And I mean, obviously you don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but how is it we're having your son over in the UK? I mean, how do you keep in touch, or do you keep in touch, or is it, you know, how is that for you?
It can be hard. We do keep in touch via FaceTime, but I don't think this would have been the right environment for him. He's nearly 20. He's into the pub scene. He likes to go out on a Friday night, and in Timaru, the pubs probably close at 10, half 10.
Right.
So I think he might have struggled. He would have been okay in Auckland or Christchurch, but in Timaru, I think it would have been a bit of a no-no.
Right.
But hopefully he'll come over at some point. He's trying to save up, and we said we'd match him, but he's also nearly 20 and enjoys going down the pub.
Yeah.
So we'll see how them savings goes. It might be a Christmas present.
And you know what? You never know what's going to happen, do you, Tanya? Because he could come over in a couple of years or whatever. He could meet a Kiwi, someone Kiwi, and he stays here, or he might just come over and just fall in love with the place and just think, I just want to stay. You just never know what's going to happen, do you? I know we had another family that was thinking of coming over from Ireland, and her daughter was similar. Like, you know, she didn't want to come, and she just couldn't leave her. Like, you know, she just said, I just can't do it. But it's great to see that you have, and you're both okay. And I honestly, you know, I would be very, very surprised if he doesn't come over and just fall in love with it and just think, oh yeah, okay, give it a go. Like, you know.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we did contemplate not coming over because we'd left him, but he's also an adult, and I think I have to remember that he's allowed to make decisions. And he didn't live with me in the UK anyway. He had moved out at 17. He'd got his own place before we'd even contemplated coming to New Zealand.
Right.
So
that's different.
That was probably, yeah. I tried to baby them, but apparently you have to cut those apron strings at some point in their lives.
I still haven't cut mine, Tanya. There's no way they're ever getting cut, those apron strings.
No, they still cost you money though.
Oh, I know what you mean. I know. And like you say, as much as and it's their life at the end of the day, isn't it? You make decisions based on what they want to do, and then they go and change their mind, and you're sitting there thinking, hang on a minute, I thought you said, you know, you wanted that. You probably would have stayed. If you'd have stayed, you'd have been like, okay, we'll stay for you. And then he would have buggered off to New Zealand, and you'd have been thinking, I could have done that.
Yeah, I have no doubt. He wants to go to America anyway. So there's going to be a time when he'll say, I'm off.
Yeah. So is there anything at all, apart from your son, obviously, because that's obviously a big tie to the UK, but is there anything that you think, oh, I really miss that. I don't like that. I miss that from back in the UK. Is there anything any regrets or anything like that?
No regrets, but I do miss B&M. And LD. And some of the British banter. I feel like Kiwis are great, but sometimes I feel like I have to explain myself at work and be like, oh, no, it's not sarcasm. It's just being British.
Yeah, yes. I get you. I hear that, yeah.
But no regrets, apart from shopping in seasonally. Still haven't quite got the hang of that, but we're getting there slowly.
Yeah.
Like I went into Pack and Save the other day and I thought, no, you can sod your capsicum. I'm not paying $5.
No, definitely not. No, well, that's the whole thing, isn't it? Is shopping is it? You know, a really funny thing happened on the group the other day. Someone posted a picture of a capsicum and they're like, 2 for $5 down in Pakistan, get down there now. And I just thought it would be a really fun thing if we did like around the world, take a picture of a capsicum around the world and we'll say how much they are around the world. That'd be so fun, wouldn't it? Let's give you an example of how it is. Well, Tanya, I just think your story is wonderful. I just love the way, because I've been with you right from the start. And I remember you saying, you know, oh, you went through so many things that happened. I remember there was, we won't go into them all now, but you went through such a lot. And and it always seemed like you were nearly there and then you get put back again. And then you were nearly there and then you get put back again. So to see, not only to see you here with your family and Ed, but to see you so happy and so immersed and so Kiwi, you know, it just makes me really, really happy for you and just warm inside that you've just been flipping. I just love your attitude. That's what it is. That's what I love about you. I just love that attitude of like, yep, give it a go. If it doesn't work out, then we'll give it a go. It's great.
And that's the thing. When we were contemplating coming, we was like, oh, you know, maybe not this year because Kira's doing GCSEs, or next year Tyler's doing. And there was always going to be something to stop us from moving. And that's where it came from. Oh, we'll go. Don't like it, we'll come back. Give it a year. Well, I think we initially said give it 2 years just for the settling in period. And if we don't like it, we'll hop back on a plane.
Yeah.
And people think we're mad because it was like, oh, it's miles away. I was like, but it's a plane ride.
Yes. It's so true, isn't it? Do you know what? And this is a whole different topic, but I get that as well. People say, oh, I'm not coming to New Zealand. It's so far. And you think, hang on a minute. You sit watching telly in your armchair for 10 hours a day sometimes, or you might get up and make a cup of tea and then you sit back down. What's the difference? You're just going to get on a plane. Yeah. You're going to sit down. You're going to fly to the other side. I just think, I know it's not the same because it's uncomfortable and all that on the ride. But yeah, I agree. It's just a plane ride. It's just if you don't like it, get back on the plane and go home.
That's it. And that's all you can do. And, you know, for what you get at the end of it to be in New Zealand, it sounds so cliche when you say actually, because I don't know whether in the UK there's this massive perception that New Zealand is the best place on earth. And it's probably generally 99% true. Yes, you get the bad things, but, you know, we've just had so much relaxation here. And I feel like you don't need to spend money either. Like the botanical gardens are free. You go for walks around your local parks. Like we haven't spent half as much money here as what we would in the UK. And there's play parks absolutely everywhere for kids.
Yeah. Swimming pools are brilliant, aren't they?
Oh, great. $4.
I know. That was my biggest thing when I came here, because we were used to paying, like going out to Bristol and paying £15 for half an hour swim. And then your little ticket had come up and you had to get out. And we came here and the kids were like, what, we can stay in all day? And we would say, yep. And it's only costing, I think it was in $2.50 back then. It was just like, this is fantastic, you know?
Yeah, at our local pool, they've got a different adult section for when you're 16. They've got a sauna and that lot. So I'm like, bye kids, I'm in here.
Brilliant. That's a good idea. So before I let you go, what is the one thing that you love about New Zealand the most, that you weren't expecting, that just took you by surprise? What's the one thing?
I think it's probably the feel of freedom. It sounds really odd, but here I don't feel like I'm working all the time. It's a full-time job, but you know, it's lighter nights, it's warmer. You can just get out and go, pack up a picnic, and it's just that freedom feeling, if that makes any sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's hard to describe unless you're here, because people think you're mad when you're talking about it.
No, I know. You're so right, because people say that to me and I'm like, yeah, but it just feels, and this, well, I don't get it, because Brian's working just as many hours and the kids are doing this and that. What's the difference? And exactly. I always think the same. I'm like, you've just got to be here. There's just more space in my head. There's more space around me. It just feels open and free, you know, and I think you're exactly right when you say that. It's hard to describe, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know whether it's because it's less population, less cars, less houses, but like you were saying, it's just, you look around and you're not built up anywhere you really go. Even in like the bigger cities, there's beaches within 10 minutes.
But do you know what I think the biggest thing is, Tanya, with the reason why you've settled so happily is your attitude. I really do. I think you've just come over here and you've just thought, let's get on with it, you know, let's get in it. And you can't come to New Zealand like you say about comparing the prices. I know you were saying that that's what you tend to do when you first come, but some people hold on to that. And I did myself for a while, for quite a while. I was like, oh, well, it's not like that in England. Like, they don't do that. They don't say that in England. They don't. If you do that, you're going to be miserable. You really are, because guess what? You're not in England. You're in New Zealand. And I just think your attitude is a fantastic example of what you have to do when you come to New Zealand, is just get in it, just get on with the Kiwi way of life, just.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely.
And if you want a compliment, go to New World, because I got asked for ID buying beer the other day. And I was like, what? I'm nearly 40, woman.
That's perfect. They probably just do it because they've got nothing else to do. They're just probably thinking, oh, let's just ask,
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I've got kids old enough to drink.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, you don't look a day over 21, Tanya. I can tell you.
Oh, thanks.
Well, thank
Good
you.
lighting.
Oh, thank you so much for just coming on and sharing your enthusiasm and your positivity. I absolutely love it. And just the whole story of just that thing with bringing the kids, like I say, because so many people want to come to New Zealand and they have got kids, around about your kids' ages, because you've got a great range there. And I just think your story is just is just a great positive example of how you can just come and just change your life and just get on that plane and just make it happen. I just think it's brilliant.
Definitely. Kids are so much more resilient than we give them credit for. And that's the other thing with New Zealand. There's so many clubs around that your kids will settle in no time.
Yeah.
So it'll be you that's left behind. It's usually the adults that are playing taxi driver.
Yeah, yeah. And just like you just doing the thing with the YMCA, your job and everything. And it's just, you just, that's why I suppose I thought you'd been here a lot longer, because you do tend to I just look on you as like, oh yeah, you're just, you're a Kiwi. So it's just, yeah. So I think it's fantastic.
Not quite.
So thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with me. And I've absolutely loved talking to you. And just thank you for everything that you do, Tanya.
That's all right. No worries.
Okay.
It's been nice speaking to you too. All right. Bye.
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 Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast this week. We have loved having you here with us.
If you love this week's show, please share this with your friends. Send it to anybody you know that wants to think about moving to New Zealand, and get on over here yourself.
And tell them how brilliant it is as well. And also, if you haven't signed up for our free 5-day video guide showing you what life is really like in New Zealand, then go over to the website and sign up. You are missing out. This is brilliant. Go over to www.nzahead.com/free and we will send you 5 days worth of videos about what life is like in New Zealand. You are going to love it. So one more time, that website that you need to sign up for the free 5-day guide is www.nzahead.com/free. So we're going to see you next week. Until then, have a great week and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye again. Bye.
Bye.